I think it was a great initiative. I love the organization. I love the curation of speakers. The volunteers, everyone did so well. I think that Joseph Etim, the convener of the event, did a fantastic job of putting this together. I think that it's something that young people in Nigeria and Africa need, and that is leadership, real thought leadership, and showing people what they need to be looking at. Not everybody knows by default what they should be looking at or what they should be seeing or which way they should be curating their knowledge or the path they should be walking in. And so when you put together an event like this where people who have decades worth of experience are sharing for next to nothing to people, I think that it's something that we need. I think it's what really would help the youth of Nigeria beyond any government initiative. What the people in the private sector like Joseph are doing, it's amazing. So I'm glad to be a part of it. I feel privileged to have shared my 2 cents worth of knowledge with people who came here today.
Accomplishments, and there he was in his kingdom, was an emperor actually, the emperor who had not himself tired.
Today I'm really excited about Connect Conference. I'm really excited because we've been able to conclude what we just got as a vision. Today marks the end of the 2 days events we initially had. We were able to host industry expert, we were able to host Blessing Abeng, Lamide Johnson, Julius Afolabi, Philip Agola, and we had John Obidi attend live from Dubai. He came all the way.
As the conference began unfolding, it was like very deep sections, and it was like a transition from one phase to another phase to another phase. So today we had John Obidi, and I sat quietly at the back. It was really thought-provoking. It had so much insight. It made me think to the point where I would separate things and know that, oh, there are some things that need to be arranged in a chronological order after this event. And I'm very grateful I was here. It has really been a paradigm shift in my thinking, in execution. It's going to be a whole new different ballgame.
I think even beyond the information that was shared here, that is profound. I think that is a template that every young person should follow. The YPC team was amazing. I mean, from the media to the cameras to the protocol to the internet team, it was amazing. And I would like them to keep up the good work. So just so good.
It's been such a journey, and I can't really express how I feel, but I'm super excited that Connect Conference 2022 has been a wrap. I want to say thank you to everybody that connected from everywhere in the world. Thank you so much for connecting with us. Thank you for attending. Thank you to those that paid all the way to come to the city of Abuja to attend Connect Conference. It's been a journey, and I'm really excited that we're able to do this, and we're doing it again and even bigger. So thank you so much, everybody. Thank you. Hello, everyone. Hello, everyone. Good evening, good evening, good evening, good evening. So, if you can hear me, if you can see my fine face again, and you can hear me, just leave a comment. Let me know if you're on board. If you can hear me, just drop a comment. Let's know who is ready for tonight's session. Let's know who is ready for tonight's session. If you're joining from Facebook, your name may not show, so you may want to consider joining from YouTube so that we can have your image and everything on the highlight button here. So, guys, who is ready? 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 This session will be really hot. All our speakers are ready for us. Who is ready? Who is ready? Who is ready? Okay. Hi, Favor. Favor can't hear me. Favor, can you hear me now? I'm sure you can hear me. Can everybody hear me? Favor is complaining she can't hear me. Can everybody hear me? Just to be sure. You see, this is how problems to start in this country. Now you say you can hear me. Hi, everyone. Hi, everyone. Great to see you here, Favor. Thanks for all you do. Hi, Taiwo. Thanks for connecting. Loud and clear. Awesome, 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 awesome. Hello, Precious. Hi, Precious Adiola. Great to have you here, Precious. So today we are talking about something really interesting. We're talking about something really interesting. Let me just put up the flyer here so that we can see what we are talking about. Right? The difficult part of content creation, what you really need to start. So for all of you that have been saying, but I don't really want to show my face on the camera, I don't have this, I don't have that, and I'm waiting for 2024 for me to start. The question is, what do you really need to start? Right? If your skills are just how to write, how to take pictures, videos, and all this stuff, what exactly do you need to start? Do you need an iPhone 2027? Or you just need to use your small phone to start. I'm really keen about this session because I have a lot to learn myself. So I'm really looking forward to it. Our guests, they are no more in their hotels. We brought them to the venue. They are live. They are live. They are live. So I'm sure the ushers, please, protocols just be on standby so that we need we need to make this fun, right? So if you have your questions, what I would just suggest is at some point during the session, just type your questions in the comment box, and I'll be here to bring your questions and ask them. That I'm sure they're going to ask you, that they're going to be willing and ready to answer all the questions you have. So if you have questions, don't make this boring. Ask your questions, guys. Ask your question. So before I bring up our guest, I would like Chika Ono is not new here, is one of us, right? We've been having him on board for a while. And I think one of the main reasons why we decided to bring Chika is because of his unique style of content creation, right? Content creation is more like Chika is like, when everybody's waiting for a content from Chika because everything he does must go viral, right? So I'm sure, let me not start asking questions now, but I know some of you want to ask Chika, but how do you do this? Me, I posted something last 6 weeks till today, just 3 likes. Nobody answered me. Nobody. So how do you buy such attention for yourself? And our other speaker, Mr. Ineba Sodosin, he's based. Some of you don't like listening to Nigerians, so you think that probably Chika is because he's in Nigeria. That's why. That's why. That's why. So we're bringing somebody that has used his skill. He has traveled far and wide. He has made all the money in this world, right? So the question some of you want to ask today is, sir, how do you do this? I hear that you are a filmmaker, you are a YouTuber, and you do all these things with so much ease, right? How do you do it? So if you have all the questions, these are the guys you need to listen to tonight. So, ladies and gentlemen, I'm sure we are ready. So if you're ready, let me know in the comment. Just type I am ready. Then I'll bring them up. If I don't get it, then it means we may end it here. So if you're ready, guys, put it in the chat box. I am ready. I am ready. I am ready. I am ready. So let's see who is ready. 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 Favor, are you guys ready? Are you guys ready? Are you guys ready? Oh, Inhai Kalu, I see you. Thanks for joining in. 91 production. Oh my God. Means we're going to be producing things today here. Freshers, I'm ready. Awesome. 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 So, ladies and gentlemen, I want you guys to put your hands together in the chat box as I bring up our speakers for them to come and show us how this game is played. Are you guys ready? Are you guys ready? I want you to hype the email. I put it on. Oh my God. Chica in the building. Oh, let's see you. Let's see you make some noise in the comment. Let's see you make some noise in the comment. Let's see you guys make some noise in the comment. If you are ready, let's see you guys make. Good evening, sir. This is Nigeria. Over here in Nigeria is 8:15. Where you are, I'm sure it's 7:15. Thank you so much for joining. Chica, it's 8:15 where you are, where I am. So thanks for joining in. Oh my God. I can't wait. 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 These guys are really excited. Favor is shouting, screaming. So we have ushers in the building. So if you're just coming, right, there are some iPhone 13 we've kept on the door. So some of you just pick one iPhone 13, just by your right. Ushers, please distribute the iPhones. We spend so much to arrive here. So iPhone 13, that's our giveaway for today. iPhone 13. If you've not gotten it, please let us know in the comment box. If you've not gotten your iPhone 13, let us know in the comment box. Right? So, guys, we are ready. So, sir, Chika, how's it going?
Good. Can you hear me?
I can hear you clearly.
Well done, okay. Well done.
You know, Chika, the last time we tried to do this, I think that was on Instagram, and a lot of people were really interested in the things you talked about. And forgive me if I have to repeat myself today, right? So those questions that you shared your insights, you gave your thoughts tonight, we would love to have you still speak on some of those things because some of these people that are here now, sometimes it's like they don't used to hear something. They still have their own they still have their mindsets, limitations, their self-belief, and sometimes they try to bring it on this platform. But probably if you have to say it the second time, probably they'll hear and they'll believe. So I'm really excited to be having you, Chika, here. Thank you so much for making it here. I don't take it for granted. Thank you, Mr.
Thank
Ini,
you.
for making it here, the filmmaker. Thank you so much. And I'm pretty sure I'm going to be getting this camera that is behind you as my gift. I'm sure I'm going to be having that camera because my own challenge is that I need this kind of camera. That is my own challenge. I've used phone, I've used cameras. Now I need this particular one. I'm sure it's Sony or maybe whatever name you call it, but I really need a new camera in my life. So thank you so much for making it here today. Sir, straight to it, straight to it. The first question is for you, Mr. Inisa. Probably you may just want to tell us a bit about yourself, just something brief, about yourself. Then the first question is, what should somebody interested in creating a content, what should they look out for? So just a brief about yourself, so that people know that I'm not scamming them. This is not a robot speaking. This is a real human being, and he has results to show for it. So, sir, just go straight to it. What should anybody interested in creating content, what should they look out for?
Mr. Joseph, thank you so much
Thank you, sir.
for this opportunity. To quickly and briefly introduce myself, my name is Ini Udosen. Born, raised in Nigeria, had the opportunity to travel out of the country. I have a family now, and I consider myself a storyteller in the art of filmmaking. My wife and I, we do create content for people, from advertorials to our own feature films, which is an opportunity to say we do have a new movie coming out soon, hopefully next year. But we do create content for TV, we do create content for social media, and we do create content for the World Wide Web. So that's me introducing myself in summary. Do you want me to go ahead and answer the question?
Please, sir, go ahead, sir. We're going straight to it.
Yeah, so I
What?
did write down some things.
Yeah.
I'm like
What
Peter
should
Obi. I did write down some things. There's no way Peter Obi goes without his pen and paper. So, what should someone interested in starting to create content look for? I wrote three major things, and these are the things that apply to myself personally. Number one would be ask yourself what makes you happy. Yeah, what makes you content? I actually wrote here content. So what satisfies you when you put your hands to do it? What satisfies you? So whatever satisfies you will make you content, happy, joyful. Yeah. The second question you should ask yourself is, where is the gap? Am I filling the gap? You understand? Then the third thing would be, what stories need to be spoken or talked about? And these are the three things that always guide my production sense when I'm going to do something for my own person, not for a client. These are the three things that I think about. Am I happy doing this thing? Is it filling a gap? And in storytelling, does it need to be spoken? And I'm sure Chika will agree with me, except it has things to add. What needs to be spoken? So that's how I can answer that briefly.
Awesome. Awesome. So you talked about filling the gap, storytelling, and what makes you happy, right? Chika,
Yeah.
in Nigeria at the moment, a lot of times some of the content we create, we are not happy doing it, right? Sometimes we're happy because of the money it's bringing. So what's your own thought? What's your perspective? What should anybody look out for when they want to start creating a content?
Okay, it's actually nice being here with you. I'm nervous because you're here, actually. It's also having you here because we have a lot of stories, me and you, actually. So, as you were mentioning the thing, no doubt, I think I'm actually going to key in and align with what Ine said in terms of, especially when it comes to happiness. That's the main thing for me. You should be happy creating a content. You should be happy. That's in short, that's the passion there. That's the force that's going to drive you. And we are talking about you starting. If you don't have the passion, there is no money when you're starting. Let's be frank. Nobody's going to pay you then because you haven't put out anything. They don't know what you're putting out. They don't trust your work. So happiness is the first thing because you're going to be obviously making content for yourself at the moment and putting it out there because you're trying to tell people this is what I do. So for me, I'm going to keep it as simple as saying happiness is everything. If you're happy doing something, every other thing is going to fall in place. And the very first time I ever sort of going into videography or photography came from in university. So it was, I could still remember when you came and you said, you showed me a video in regards to Millipede, right? I can still remember the name perfectly well, Millipede. He used the phone. I don't know whether it was an iPhone then but this is way back 2012 or 2013, thereabouts. I can't really remember. I can't place it. But
Yeah,
that was the first time. Yeah, that was the first time. And something stirred up in me just by showing me that video. I was excited. I think that's the first. So for me, I'm going to keep it as happiness is everything. Happiness is everything.
Interesting. Guys, I'm sure we're learning. So tonight, I'm sure everybody's learning. So, sir, the next question is to Mr. Ini here. How did you become a renowned filmmaker, and how did you start attracting the kind of high-profile clients you have? Now, a lot of people don't understand this. Mr. Ini is not somebody that used to come and disturb everybody on social media and like he's hustling for clients, right? He's somebody that he has clients all over the world. Like he's in UK right now, but he has let me use like what everybody can understand. He has boys in every country. right? So every client that he needs to have access to, he has boys that he will just send, go shoot this documentary for me, go do this for me, go do this for me. So, sir, the big question that every young person here probably wants to know is, one, how did you become a renowned filmmaker? From like graduating from just being somebody that is skilled, how did you turn it into a business? How did you start attracting the kind of high profile clients that you have, so that you have clients all over the world? How did this happen for you? So I'm sure that's what some people here and me myself, everybody wants to know.
All right. So when you send me these questions and I began to answer number two especially, um, let me go back to the things you said in the introduction of this session, which
Yeah.
is easy. You mentioned something about easy, and I want to correct that. Nothing good comes easy. Chika would agree with me. You would agree with me. Every other
Yes.
person would agree. You have to put in the work. So number one for me was putting my pen to paper, right? These two things. And I say these things because as a Christian, I'm a Christian. And when
Yeah.
you look at the Bible, God put some things down. He didn't just come down and do things. He said, let's do this. So I put my pen to, I had ideas, I put it to writing. So first, number one is putting pen to paper. For some people in this new age, it will be typing on the cell phone, the ideas on the iPad, on the computer. So I used to ask, I'll ask my wife, how come you're always writing your stuff on paper? And that's because, I mean, sorry, not on paper, on her cell phone. Why don't you write with a pen? But that's because that's her style. So she writes her ideas on her cell phone or on her tablet or laptop. For me, it's using the pen and writing. So number one is putting pen to paper. Number two is seeking help, asking questions from the right people. So seeking help, which is asking questions from the right people. Number three is not becoming, I'll expatiate on this, but I just want to list them out. Not becoming demotivated. Number four, going where others would not. And the last one I have penciled here is having confidence, packaging yourself, dressing well, which is packaging, using quality brands. So putting pen to paper, which is number one. I'll tell you an example. Um, I had just completed my NYC I was completing my NYC in Abuja, and I was thinking, what would I do? What would I do after this? You know how Nigeria is. There's no security for a job. It's not like I didn't know one or two people, but I just didn't want to hear tomorrow, I did this for you, or I did that for you. You understand? Because of me. And I'm not that kind of person. I always want to try to create things myself. So I wrote my first story, which was Okada, the documentary. It's on YouTube. And I took that story. I did have challenges, but I didn't let those challenges they motivate me, which were being able to write a proper story. So I took that story to the deputy head of the department I was working in, because I served in the ICPC in Abuja I think 2015, 2014, 2015. So I took what I'd written to him and he churned it down from 4 pages to 1 page. So I asked questions, and knowing who the right person to ask your questions is very, very important. So I wasn't demotivated because I couldn't write a story. I looked around and saw who I could get that story properly written down. Then
Yeah. Yeah.
I went out to shoot. I remember I was living in Lugbe, Tredmore area of Abuja, which is which people consider the outskirts. And I saw there was a story to tell, which is the Okada guy who will take me from, after using that long, I'll take a bike into Trademore Estate then. So I thought that was an interesting story to tell. So I gathered two of my friends then, Tony and Kingsley, and we went out.
Tony Elimelu?
Not Tony Elimelu, Tony Nta. So I took Tony Nta and Kingsley Bay, and we went out to create this story, to shoot and create that story. So I documented what I had put to paper. I went out to shoot that, and after doing that, I came back and put that and post-produced that. In fact, I got someone to voice the documentary for me. I didn't have money, but I don't remember who I got to voice it, but I got someone to voice the documentary. It was properly done, thank God. And then I put it out there. In fact, that was how I met my wife, putting what I have out there. And several people picked up the documentary. I remember, was it MTV? Some channel did on DSTV.
AIT, I think it was AIT. AIT picked it up. I saw it on AIT.
Yeah, AIT International picked it up. My wife took it to AIT International. They picked it up. AIT International UK. They picked up the documentary. They paid for it. That's a story for another day. Another international TV station picked it up then, and I don't remember. Several people did pick it up. It was on social media then, and that was it. That was how I got my big break, just from doing that, from getting to. I had something to show people, so not being demotivated, and for me, I was confident. I had that confidence. Even though behind me, I was wondering what will happen. What will happen? We're always afraid of the unknown. But I took it out. I tried to package it as best as I could, and I'll leave it there for Chika to answer.
Okay, I don't know if that's the question I should follow up, but to add to what you have actually said, for me, I'm going to talk about relationships. Relationships to me are very very important, and for me it's one of the key factors that could really help you get you to where you are supposed to be. Right. So I have the car you want to buy, a relationship can buy it for you. The camera you want to get, a relationship can get it for you. Whatever thing you want to get, apart from the money, I see relationship too as a currency, right? So there are people these days, they don't need to do certain things because they have created certain relationship with some person. They have access to this kind of thing. And I started off, when I started, like you say, and we all know nothing is easy. That's the truth. There was a lot of work that was, put into this whole thing to where it is right now, right? So days of you crying. I mean, truthfully speaking, you know how you do something and you had very high expectation of the outcome, and it's just nothing even there. It's nothing even up to what you had actually anticipated. So I feel so I built relationship. I'm coming to why I said relationship to me is it has actually opened a whole lot of pathways for me. The clients and people I work with now, if you notice, these are people you started with back then and built a good relationship with them, and then they showed you, linked you up to present. And the truth about it is most times when you put your work out there as a starter, the people that like your works are your friends and family members. Let's be truthful about it. People are watching, they might not comment, they would not even say anything at the first. They will never even say anything, right? So you're just you put it out there and it's just friends that are commenting and family members for the start, right? And then you notice that these friends, because they believe in you, and you too, you have to also believe in your friends, build relationship. They are building, they are investing in you by commenting. You also do the same. Go and also comment on their page, say what they are doing is lovely. And it's like I said, it's a relationship, is mutual. So you're building yourself. So I've been able to build quality relationships that have gotten me to where I am right now. And talking about the work being put there, it takes a lot. it takes a whole lot. Do something different. I always talk about you being unique. You cannot be doing what everybody's doing. I think it was, I'll continue to make reference to in here because I have actually, I think you were one of the persons that you started this game, you started this journey for me, right? And I can remember you when you told me, Chika, you need a niche. I thought I was doing perfectly well. I was doing videography and photography. And to me, it was working perfectly well. I didn't have any issue with it, right? But I can remember certain time we had conversations and you were like, no, you need to pick one. If not, one is going to suffer, right? I could still remember you saying that. And I went back and I actually questioned certain things and I realized that, okay, in this journey, I have to pick one. I have to pick a struggle, right? In as much as you could try to do both of them, but you notice that you're just everywhere. You might not be a master of one, right? And that was, to me, that was what I was looking at. If you want to be out there, we say focus on one goal, focus on one thing until successful, right? So that was what I decided to do. And for me, I think on the long run, I picked photography and it's been a journey. I put in the work and how I was able to actually get to where I am was the fact that I understood times and season. And I would like to talk about that later on if there's a question from this.
Okay, Chika, you've jumped to answer a question I was supposed to ask you, but it's fine.
Can I
But
can I add something?
Okay, yes, you can. You can.
Let me add to what Chika is saying. Let me give a bit of a background. Yeah. So to the relationship Chika and I have. So Chika, don't blush.
No,
So
you can't.
Chika and I, we grew up in the same environment back then in University of Calabar. So Chika used to live on top of me. Like we were on the ground floor, Chika was on top of me then. And
Yeah.
that's how the families, were interwoven,
Yeah.
that. So Chika mentioned relationship, which is really important, and he asked me certain questions and I took from my own experience, relationship is a currency. And I told him, look, you are good at this. I saw he was good at photography. And I'll say, dude, take this thing and run with it. And see the amazing work Chika has done. His work has been creating chaos. It creates a lot of chaos.
Chaos.
And I'm happy with what he's done and with what the chaos he's created. People retweet, people repost, people comment, people steal his work.
Still, yes.
You understand? So and that's good for him. You understand? For some of us, we are behind the scenes. Some of us are very shy. Chika is shy though, but his work speaks volumes. And that takes me back to relationship. For me, when I was serving, I remember the first most expensive lens I got. It was from the relationship I was able to build. It was a Canon 16 to 35 f2.8. Back then, as a copper, I couldn't afford to buy a lens of $1,500. You understand?
I really think we need to talk more on relationship. There should be a session for relationship. Honestly, that's the truth.
Probably,
let's be frank.
yeah. So I remember I would take Mike. So I recall I've talked about the gap you should feel. So the church I was worshiping then, there was no videographer. There was no video. They didn't have any video session or video to replay for people who want to watch. So I came in there and I said, oh, why don't I bring my camera? I didn't ask for any payment. So I'll take my camera and record the session, the church session. My own camera I bought with my own money. You understand? And there was some guys in there saw what I was doing, and he would bring his lens.
Yeah.
He would bring his own lens. He didn't know how to. He had the equipment, but he didn't know what to do. So he would bring his lens and give me to use to augment what I was doing. And I saw this particular lens, and I knew it was expensive because you have to also know your onions. I asked him, can I have this lens? So that was a confidence. You have to have the confidence. I was like, can I have this lens? He looked up at me, and I was waiting for, always expect the worst, but try. And he was like, he looked at me and said, Ini, you can have it. $1,500 lens, free. So you have to
Wow.
sacrifice, you have to build those relationships. And he gave me that lens, and that augmented when I go for to bid for jobs. I'll tell them my kit, what's part of my kit, and if you know what you're looking out there for, you see this guy has this and has that, and so it's really important. Build relationship, build yourself, position yourself, exude confidence.
Yeah, thank you so much. So, guys, I wrote some things down that Chika pointed out, Mr. Ni pointed out. One of it was, I'll just try to paraphrase what they said. Mr. Ni talked about service, that he was serving, right? He went to a church, they had a need, and he was serving. And what I wrote here was, or is, opportunity will always meet you at your place of service, right? So whenever you decide to serve, some of the opportunities you've been praying for until you serve, you may miss that opportunity. Then he said something that really struck me. He said, expect the worst, but just try. Some of us we don't expect anything, we don't have any expectation. We just believe that it will not work or it will work, and at the end you'll be shocked. So expect the worst, but just try. Then he said something really keen here. He talked about when he started his documentary and all those stuff. But there's something he said that some of you did not pay attention to. He said it was properly done and it was of standard. That was why some of these international TVs they wanted to come by, they wanted to come put it up on their own platforms. Why? It was of standard. So I think our takeaway here is whatever you're doing, right? Let it be of standard. Don't just carry your phone, mount it on a stand, and you are dancing to post on TikTok, right? That may get you millions of views because I think the generation we live in now, everybody's now interested in just views, and they have no plans for those views, right? So whatever you're putting out, make sure that it's something that has standard and the kind of standard that can attract or buy attention from the kind of people you are looking forward to. So if you want CNN, if you want BBC, if you want Fox News, and all those guys to in fact, if you want Disney to like to get to want to do something with you, it means that you have to know, okay, what is the standard of the kind of things they are looking for, right? That you can now produce. Then he talked about sacrifice. A lot of people don't understand what it means to sacrifice. Content creation will strangle you, right? So it means that you have to go out of your way and tell yourself, I want to do this. Whether you want to start writing, you want to start creating pictures, videos, and all those stuff, you must tell yourself, I really want to do this thing, and it will take my sacrifice. It will cost me a lot. It will cost me relationship. It will cost me service. It will cost my money. It will cost my time, and you go straight to it. So, Chika, I want to ask you this question. I'm sure everybody knows that, okay, Chika has been creating pictures from way back. And I think I always tell you this. One of the first pictures I ever saw you post on Facebook was a picture you took of Coca-Cola, this Coca-Cola bottle, right? You just put it,
But
you just,
yeah,
and it was with your phone, right? You took that picture with your phone, but the editing, the angle, everything was just perfect. Nobody would believe that that was with a phone, right? But I think it was maybe iPhone 11. I can't remember which iPhone, but there was a that like it was a phone you
iPhone
used,
11.
iPhone 11. And I think that season of your life,
That was
most of your pictures were taken with phone, right? And a lot of people like are crying that I need a camera, I need this, I need lighting. I see Joseph the last video he posted. I saw the last say that means I'm not even ready. No, Chika started with a phone, right? And the question I want to ask you now, Chika, how did you transition from using a phone to shoot and going viral, and this is where you are now? So how did you transition? What was it? What, like, in few seconds, how was it for you? How did you transition from using a phone? Because a lot of people now they have iPhone 13. Some people have already paid, they've ordered iPhone 15, iPhone 24, right? And all they are planning to use it for is just to dance on TikTok. But Chika, help us, help our lives. How did you transition?
okay. I think I think you would have asked, how did I even start using phone first, and then
Exactly. Please, sir.
now,
How did you start using
yeah.
phone?
So
How did you start
let's be frank and the truth about it, and I'm going to be truthful here. So I was also part of those that were saying I need a camera. Before I start, I want a camera. I want a camera. I want a camera. I don't have the light. I don't have this. I don't have that. Right. So that was how it started. And what made me to start using the phone still attributed to Mr. Lee here. He came and showed me. I think Mr. Lee, you started with the phone too. So the video which he showed me, the military millipede. I don't know. Millipede is the is that an insect now? Is it part of an insect or an animal?
The thing with many legs.
Okay, so the millipede, that was the video he did, and he did that with the phone. So it stirred me up. I was like, okay, so we could use the phone to create something like this and to make a whole lot of sense. So I think that was what pushed me into using the phone. And I started with the BlackBerry then. I think just probably one or two pictures of those pictures you ever saw online was taken with an iPhone, and that was an iPhone 4 then.
iPhone 4.
Yes, iPhone 4. So wow. It was taken with including the Coca-Cola bottle you're talking about was taken with a BlackBerry phone, right? So the process now to where I am, put out your work. Mr. said he found his wife online. I found my first contract, my first breakthrough online because I put out my work online. So the image I put up was, I don't know if probably if you want to go through my Facebook page, but that's a long time ago, was a boy. I took a picture of a boy and then, had the whole background, making it look more like an IDP kind of stuff, right? He was homeless. Yeah, so that was the image I wanted to portray. And then I posted that picture, and few months back, and few weeks later, I got an offer from the United Nations. So that was the first big gig I had. In short, I couldn't even understand it. It felt like a dream. Right?
So Chika,
it felt like it felt like a dream. Right? It's true to them. So it felt like a dream, right? And so that was the breakthrough for me. From there, I now started to. That was what made me. I was able to acquire some of the gadgets I have. My first camera, if I should state it here, was actually gotten by my dad. So, and it's a whole long story, but he noticed how much I love this, and it's your love for your skill or for whatever skill you have. It has to be seen, not just being said. You don't just say I love. People need to see the output of what you actually say you love. Now, how I was able to break through from a lot of Africans. I think I had an interview with a film school there in Thailand, Bangkok in Thailand. So they interviewed me, and they are having the same issue Nigerians are having here, where you have the parents where you find it difficult to break out because you have a particular kind of skill, and they are scared. Oh, I want you to be a doctor. I want you to be an engineer. I want you to be this, and so all that. So I had to create that love for my art, and apart from just creating that love, I had to make people understand that this is pain. The skill I have is pain. So that was what actually made my dad realize, okay, fine, this thing he's doing could actually put food on the table. So you have to make your parents to realize that your skill can put food on your table. They are not interested whether you love it or not. I think that's what our parents are not. Most parents are not interested whether you love this skill or not. They are interested if it can put food, if it can make you who you want to be, if it can sustain a living, if it can raise your standard of living, right? So that's what your parents are looking at, right? So moving there, I just stated that to make you understand that my dad got me my first camera, and from there to where I am now, I have been shooting with a camera, and I have been able to get other equipment. Yeah.
Okay, so Chika, I have a question. I think there's a question here. Joel Adepoju just asked a question, but before I go straight to this question, I would like to say something. Now, I think I know Chika to an extent because I remember when he started, there was this picture Chika took of GT Bank then in Calabar. I don't know if you remember, Chika. There was this picture you took GT
Yeah.
Bank that street. Now, a lot of people just saw that picture and they were really excited. It was beautiful. It was just going everywhere. But they never understood that this guy, when there was a story building there, I think whether 4 or 5 or 6 story building there, Chika went up just to have that shot, right? So it still boils down to the sacrifice, putting in the work. I think a lot of people don't understand what it means to put in the work. We just want to have the result when we don't want to put in the work. And there's something that Chika said here. And sometimes I feel like, people share a lot good ideas with me a lot. And I want to do this, I want to do that. I'm just looking for. And sometimes I feel like these ideas are beautiful, right? I just feel like just dragging them and just put them on social media. Can you just post this and stop talking? Right? And there was somebody me and Chika were trying to convince. She's good, she can speak, she's beautiful. We're trying to convince this person, just show up now. She has been dragging, and today she sent me a message. I pray she's not watching. She sent me a message and said, "Oh my God, do you know the feedback people were giving me? Like, it was so helpful. It was on time. It was this." And in my head, I was like, after we forced you, what if you did not post this thing, right? So a lot of the opportunities we are praying for, the attention we are hoping for, until you force yourself to put yourself out there, right? Nothing may change for you. There's somebody out there waiting to buy something for you, to get something for you, right? But until you show up, nothing for you. So now, making progress with what Chika have said, there's a question here from Joel Adepoju. He said, when do we draw the line between standard and just doing it with what we have, right? So those that, no matter how they sacrifice, they may not have access to a camera. No matter how much they push, they may never have access to any of these things, right? How can they just start with what they have? So, Mr. Ini, I think I'll leave that question to you. Those
So
that don't have,
I'll use myself as an example. In university days, Joseph, can you just leave the question up? In university, I bought the iPhone 5. I got the iPhone 5, and standard and just do what you have. If you don't do it with what you have, you can't get to standard. That's how I'll put it. Except you are the son of God, who will just come standard. You understand? If you don't do what you have,
even the Son of God, even Jesus had to grow in stature. It's written in the Bible.
You see. So I had to start with what I have, or with what I had. My example, in uni days, I saved. You have to develop a culture to get to standard. You understand? When I get pocket money, I was lucky. I'll split it into half. Yeah, I'll keep 50% of whatever I was given, saving towards my camera, and the other 50% I'll struggle. I'll eat the same thing throughout. You understand? So that God bless his soul, was giving me what he could give me as a father. Then I split it, I saved. When I went to buy my first camera, and then before I even go to buy my first camera, I used my phone then. I went to a carpenter who was nearby. I schooled in Ghana, so I went to a carpenter who was nearby to make a makeshift tripod that I could just hold. You understand? So I researched how to get the best of what I had to appear standard. And with meeting with my colleagues in class and say, dude, guy, I want to shoot video. If you just come talk for me, just talk. You understand? I beg. So I got them to talk. You understand? What I had, I was able to create something that's at least standard, and it got me my first big major gig in university. And my first major gig in university paid me about 1,500 Ghana cedis, which was at the time equivalent to maybe 150,000 naira or more. So it was 2,000 Ghana cedis, equivalent to 200,000. I was able to buy an iMac, a second-hand iMac, a 27-inch iMac. That was just to shoot it with a phone. I was able to buy a second lens to add to the camera I had. You understand? So using what you have can get you across the line if you try to create it to standard. I don't know if I'm answering Joel's question.
Yeah, of course,
Yeah,
of course.
there's a line between what you have and the standard, but use what you have to achieve standard. Chika, go on.
Chika, go ahead, please.
Okay, let me just add to that. For me, I understand that there is, frankly speaking, there is nothing like standard, right? Every this thing, because even where I am right now, I still want to. There is still a standard. I don't know if you get. So the best right now still have a standard. Even if you like get the best camera, they want it. They are still looking for a camera that will see a human being the exact way, skin tone, everything is going to come out the exact way. So what I'm going to say here is, for every, now we set the standard. Human beings set the standard for. It's like you want to put up a video for Netflix for it. You want to do a movie and you want Netflix. Netflix has its standard, right? So if you're using a phone, you should obviously know where you should be going to. You should obviously know where you should be putting out your work for that standard, because it will be accepted there, right? If you started learning, or you attend the church, for instance, you could produce things to the church standard. Now the church has its standard. You could produce things to the church standard, and there, before you now start going to the next, to the next standard, which probably it's another thing you're looking up to. So there is a standard. Even if you're using an iPhone now, let's say you're using an iPhone 4, which the camera is not so good as an iPhone 14, there is always a platform. There's always something where your standard will be recognized. So the more you keep on getting better equipment, the more you keep on meeting better people, the more you keep on making more money, your standard begins to increase. So there is standard even where you are.
Yeah. Okay.
So there is a standard even where you are. Yeah.
Thank you so much, Chika. I think I was listening to Fisayo the other day, right? And there was this live session going on, and Fisayo was to share his thought, and he said something, and I would also mention it here. He said, aside from Mr. Enes back, so he said something about story, right? So instead, don't focus on your gadget, focus on your story, because when what makes your content, whatever, goes viral is not nobody remember. Camera or whatever you use is the last thing they remember. What they always remember is the story. I don't know if we check. I'm sure you know these guys. These guys, that any movie that comes out, they try to. Is it Ikorodu Boys? Ikorodu Boys. Nobody remembers if they use camera or not. In fact, right now, some of you hearing the name, you are trying to think: do they use cameras or do they use their phones? Yeah, because at this point, that doesn't really matter. What matters is the story, right? So instead of you trying to focus on the gadgets you need to get, right, focus on your story. If it's a text, a lot of people say, but I don't think I'm ready to start. In fact, I don't even have the phone to start off. I don't have the phone to start creating content. It's something that Mr. Ini said here. He said, ask a friend for help. Mr. Ini, I'm sure you remember very well. One of my first videos in Abuja, I think in 2018, Chika, till today, we've not posted that video on YouTube because of Chika, right? There was a lady, my friend, Rachel. So we got to your place and we're supposed to have an interview with you, and we shot that video, right? So now, a lot of some of the gigs and opportunities I got for YPC was as a result of that 5-minute video that we had to cut, like just cut some out of the long video to publish. So even though we did not post the full video, we had to cut some of it and publish. Some of the opportunities I later got was because of what we did. Because we were not like, how was I able to get this person? The way she speaks, it was beg, please help me. I'll pay your transport, I'll do this one. Just come. I didn't have money to pay her what? It was beg, right? So I think everybody needs to learn that part of begging people for what you want, right? So if you see a friend, somebody that has what you need, right, you just need to be humble and tell yourself, how can I beg? So that if you don't have a camera, who has a camera? How can you beg the person? What do you need to do at least for 2 weeks to beg the person to shoot something for you, right? And I'm sure Mr. Joel, you've gotten some really insightful thoughts that can help you. So you don't need a camera to start. If you have a camera, that's the plus, but you don't need a camera. What you may want to focus on is your story. Your story. So for the last question for Mr. Eni, before I start, so guys, if you have questions, this is just this an hour. We've just used 1 hour. So if you have questions, we may want to just start closing the curtain from here. So if you have questions, just drop it in the comment box and I'll try to bring that on screen. But finally, I would like to ask Mr. Ini. I don't know how the UK is going on, but right now in Nigeria, everybody is looking for motivation, inspiration, right? So what really inspires your creativity? What what wakes you up every morning to go and touch your camera? I'm sure sometimes you shoot and it takes you weeks to edit. There's some videos I shoot myself, and after all the energy, the excitement, it takes me 2 weeks. Sometimes I just say, okay, this month I don't have strength. I'll just leave it there whenever I'm ready. So, what gives you that excitement? Or is it just me? Is it just our audience? Is it that every time there must be motivation? What really inspires your creativity? Because I see a lot of the kind of videos you do, right? It's something unique, it's something always crazy, creative. So, how do you get inspired? How do you become creative? How do you do it, sir?
So there are three things I would say here before, and then I'll expand. Number
Yeah.
one is things people are not talking about.
Hmm.
For Chica's field, which is creative, which is photography with effects, it'll be what people are talking about. But for me, I always look at what people are not talking about. Um, the emotional side of it. So number two is the emotional. How emotional? How does it pierce into the emotions of people? If you want to see what I've done in the past, it's you can find me on YouTube. It's at your filmmaker. Maybe you can subscribe. You follow my work. Joseph can
Yeah.
put that on screen.
Yeah.
So connecting to into people's emotion. The thing Chika talked about millipede that I did was just I just went out and I noticed that millipedes or most creatures out there just by themselves, living their lives. I followed a millipede round. My mom hates millipedes, but I shot that. I just followed a millipede, different angles, put a soundtrack underneath it, put some ambience, which is the water flowing in the gutters. You understand? So those spike up the emotions in every human being. You understand? The third thing was reactions from people who love what I do. Oh, you hear Joseph say, "Oh, mine is unique." You hear Chika, or hear people saying, "Man, I'm blown away." So those are the things that inspire my creativity. Connecting to the
Feedback.
emotions of people. When I create stuff, when I create a short video, and I always want to just look at people, the way people react. If people don't react the way I expect them to react, I don't get demotivated. I take those things as a lesson to learn. You understand? How do
Yeah.
I connect to the heart, not just the eyes and the ears of people? How do I connect to their emotions? That's what drives my creativity. And if I may add, um, I don't know if Chika wants to say, if I'm speaking for too long, but don't wait. Don't one great mistake I've made in this, which I've seen Chika capitalize on, is not putting work out there. And Chika and Joseph have been hunting me on this thing. Ini, you are not putting stuff out there. And I've just started back putting stuff on social media. Sometimes I feel, and that's what most great people suffer, not putting what they've created out there. Just to take us back, you understand? And I'll use a friend as an example. I have this lady friend. She has more than 250,000 subscribers on YouTube. And I remember when she went to start and she came to me and asked, "Oh, Ini, I want to go on YouTube. What can I do? What should I get?" And I told her everything she needed to get. And then she gets brands paying her nothing less than $5,000 in that same Nigeria to put their things on YouTube, on her channel. Imagine if I had started when was it, 2012, 2011? Imagine if I started then. So don't wait. I have a friend who doesn't put his stuff out there because he wishes everything is perfect and afraid of how people react. That's a lesson I'm learning. Look at how Chika's channel has grown on Instagram. You understand? Look at how Joseph's YouTube channel is growing. And I see how mine is growing now on YouTube. Joseph, I don't know if you can flash my YouTube link. So
at the moment, no.
It's an opportunity to say, go and subscribe, put your stuff out there, put things people are not talking about so people can talk about, connect to the emotions of people, and then how people react is what inspires me.
Okay, before Chika would make a comment, so guys, you could follow Ini on Instagram at Odasin, and on YouTube, subscribe. Please subscribe. Your filmmaker. I think we did one giveaway a few days ago. Some of you that refuse to follow, you missed money. So
yeah,
who knows?
Follow Chika's channel because I'm coming to Chika with a giveaway. Something huge.
Yeah.
Something huge.
So guys, if you're not following, it means you're planning to miss. But then there's something that Mr. Ini said I would like to just emphasize. Put your work out there. Then there's something that I think Chika remembers this very well. I call it do the crazy stuff. There was a particular video I shot at Chika's place one time, right? And that video, it was just we trying to test his light, sir. We're just trying to test light too. So I said, let me just talk now. So other videos I was doing before then, I would just plan, prepare script and everything. But that particular video, Chika, I'm sure you can remember, it was just by force. Chika, let me test this light. Let me test this light. And I sat and I said something like, stop waiting, just start. And I'm sure a lot of you have seen this, you saw that video. So immediately I posted that video. That was the video that everybody could relate to it. Everybody loved that video. So it meant that, like this, going back to this second point you said, touch the emotional part of people, the emotional part of things, right? So because it was more about the emotion, right? So people could really connect and they could jump on it. Everybody was just reposting it. I went to church. They were not telling me I'll start. I don't know them. Before I talk to them, they say, Joseph, I'll start. I've heard. Thank you. I saw your video. I saw this video somewhere. It's you. So sometimes the thing you think will not go will be that particular content, that video, that whatever that would announce you. And sometimes your expectation will be cut short, right? So you don't have to program or invent or try to tell how the result of whatever you put out. Sometimes what you think will be the best content, you just publish it and 1 hour, nobody will like it, nobody will react. You think that there's no network, you bring it down, you put it again, and nobody will still answer you because this is how it works, okay? So just put your stuff out there. You don't know which content is going to blow up. You have no idea which content is going to just, there's some content I put out and I'm like, this one, so will not go anywhere. And that is the particular content that day that will have the highest view. And I'm like, why are people liking this kind of thing now? So Mr. Ni, go ahead.
Can I add before Chika speaks? Support people in your field.
Exactly, support.
Because even though I say expect the worst, don't expect them to support you, but in supporting you learn one or two things. True. And you probably get help back. You understand? That's what we've been doing, the three of us, we support each other. Joseph has supported me immensely. Chika has supported me immensely, and I've also supported both of you guys in your different things. So you see that there's a picture of Chika.
That's the relationship.
Yeah, relationships. So support. There's this ideology I see amongst people from where we come from. If I support my guy, he go blow. Me, I know go blow. He go get subscribers. Man, come on, that is not right. You understand? It doesn't work that way. If he
sorry, the truth about people don't still understand the power. Let's be frank. Let's just be frank, right? The person that gave you that lens you talked about, let's be frank. Can you tell me honestly that this person reached out to you today and you're in a position to help him and you won't help him? It's impossible.
Let me even add.
It's impossible.
That guy took me to the vice presidency office because of sacrifice.
Okay.
So I didn't even add that. The current vice president, he took me to be part of the vice presidency's media team. So I didn't. So if you don't want to get to the top, don't support, don't sacrifice. You know, you have to sacrifice. Abraham almost sacrificed his son before God took him extra serious. So if you're not ready to grow, the big people who make the big money, the multi-million-dollar contracts and all that,
relationship,
they have
apart from that, invest. I don't know, but like I said, we just need to have another section for relationship. Invest in your friends now. They are just starting up. They are just starting now. Invest. It's very easy to invest in your friends right now. 2,000 will go a long way. 5,000 now. 10, support what they are doing. When they are up there, you can't. There are people that call me now, I don't pick. It's not as if I'm busy and I will not pick your call. Let's be frank. We're friends there, but I can't help you.
Chika, I know they pick person call.
Let's be honest.
Chika doesn't even return my call. Just a Chika, when last I call you, when did you return my call? I didn't return my call.
He's trying to say that he has changed everything now.
You see, I don't change to PG. You guys call me back.
No, I'll call you back.
I talk.
So honestly, no matter, even if I pick, even if I don't pick, the relationship is there. That's what I'm trying to say. So you cannot just come out from nowhere, and because you saw these people starting up, you ignored them. You're seeing somebody, you're seeing how bright, you're seeing what your friend is doing is good, but because he's small now and you don't think you can, but right now it's cheap. Relationship now is cheap. When you want, there are people I want to relate with now, and you know how much you spend. You have to go and do certain things, buy certain kind of gifts, spend a lot of just to hear them, just for them to answer to your DM. If I should use that word, just for them to respond to your DM, you have to go through. These were people that you could have just reached out to just easily when they were starting, and you knew them. So you're seeing somebody doing something good out there, try to get in touch with them, try to link it up. And sorry to just take us back a bit. Sorry, this will just take 1 minute. I want to point out where we look at time and season. It's very important as a creative. Joseph said he did a video where he was saying, just start. It's the time, it's the season. People were at home, ASU strike, and you put out that kind of message. We need creatives, you need to understand time and I'll tell you that's why most of my pictures trend. I'm not going to hide that. I try to understand time and season. What is happening right now?
So that you flow from here. What do you do that your picture, every picture is just, people are just waiting. Thank you, Chika. We'll be waiting for this trend. So
it's because he doesn't answer people's calls. Editing. You guys see Chika work. He's editing with his laptop. You just say, you call Chika, you look. Sorry, sir, I was working. Which is good. You have to
So I understand, Joseph, the truth about it is I understand time and season. From the very first picture that ever trended, the Indomie picture, this where we're having the COVID and you had children putting that number of Indomie into the bathtub, wasting, according to the public, what they said about it. That was the time people were looking for food. And then I put out that
Yeah.
kind of image. Now it went viral because of what the time and season. Now people, truth, election is coming by, what are creatives doing? If you understand this is a time and season for election, put out content about this thing because everybody's looking for it. Everybody wants to see it. When you're scrolling these days, have you noticed that when you're scrolling through social media, you stop anytime you see P2B? It's you're stopping because election, you want to hear what he has to say. Because the election is coming up soon. If you see anything that has to do with the election, a post or a write-up written about it, you stop. The same thing with insecurity. We're having a lot of insecurity issues in the country. This is the time and season for creatives to take
The
advantage
Naira
of this
note.
opportunity. Put out content about Naira notes now. Put out something about it. Everybody's ready to read about anything that has to do with the Naira. Oh, what are they saying? What? So if I do a picture now that talks about the Naira, or I do a picture now that talks about kidnapping, I do a picture that talks about the insecurity in the country, people will be interested in it. A lot of people. If I even do a picture now that talks about marriage, the breakup, because a lot of things are happening, people are divorced. A lot of people are going to read. People want to share. If I just write now, I think I did a picture of I don't swallow. A lot of people don't swallow key to their heart, and people will repost. People will share because they can relate to it. That's what's happening right now. If you look at the number of marriages that are breaking, you just see that it's easy for it to just flow from there. So I think majorly content creators they have to look at time and season. If you're sewing, the same thing. Make clothes. I think Joseph, you know Divine Oku, our friend Divine. He wants to start doing clothes that have to do with the election, and it will sell. If you write on your, imagine you go to a place and you print whatever about election, maybe get your PVC, or you talk about you're following a particular candidate and you write, we know they give shishi. Imagine how many people are going to order for that outfit because this is the time and this is the season. So
Now,
that's it.
guys, let me just put these thoughts together. Now, a lot of people are trying to get it, you are trying to have it easy. You are trying to have it all organized, right? You are trying to just be putting out deep content, deep thought, this like, I think we need to pause, right? We need to pause and ask ourselves this very good question. What do my audience really want, right? So while you're giving them what you want, you must balance it with something like, what do these guys really want? And sometimes you discover that when you give these guys what they want to also pay attention to you. Why? Because, like it is said, you've tried to touch on the emotional part of human beings. Because understand that these are human beings. They are not spirits following you. They are human beings. They have problems. They have issues. They have real life issues. So while you are trying to build your platform, ask yourself, how can you talk about different issues that these guys have? Right. So another thing I want to say finally here is you have to put in the work. Guys, I bet you whenever you see Chika is always with a laptop because he's trying to create stuff. Every content creator that wants his work to go far,
And that's why I don't pick up.
you must always be creating. That is the sacrifice. You must understand that this season for you is season to put in the work. I'm not married. Chika is not married. So we have the time to put out the content to make the money,
Trust
right?
me. That's you guys.
Because when you get married, you have you removed the napkin? Have no, no. We have to remove all the napkin now with our laptops, right? So guys, you have all the time now. You have to put in the work. Stop looking for the next gadget. I don't want to show us this. Chika, there's a particular gadget. Wait, let me put it out. I think I have it here. I'm sure Chika will remember this thing. Chika, do you remember this? Our microphone. So there was a season I was saying that if I don't get this microphone, I will not. I got it. I'm sure I've not used it more than 3 times since I got it in 2018 or 2019. It's still there, useless. But I plan to still use it. But then I was thinking it was about the gadget, right? But guys, it's not about the gadget. So guys, I don't know if you have questions. If you have questions, Patience Ayeni, I see you. Thanks for joining in. Thanks for joining in,
And,
Patience.
and Joseph, I think people just make flimsy excuses. I think that's the word. And in you bear me witness that I when I started and how I am right now, there are certain equipment I don't have, but you'll be shocked that I always look for an alternative.
Exactly.
I always look for an alternative. So when I started, I didn't have the camera and I just had my laptop. When I had the camera, I didn't have lights. There will always be something you don't have. See, let's just understand that there will always be
True.
something you don't have. So
True.
how can you improvise? I noticed till up to the point when I noticed I don't have this light, it will bear me witness when I'm editing video, I'll manufacture light and put.
Yeah.
Let's be frank. I had to because I noticed since I don't have the money to get this equipment, which is physical. Let me do the ones that can be. It's like when you're for the white guys, right? When they are shooting a particular video, the whites understand that whatever thing they want to do, they'll try to do it on set. Forget all this green screen you're seeing. They will try as much. Green screen is as per we could not achieve this one on set. We want to now use green screen. They will try everything possible to do it. It was I think I researched on this when I noticed Fast and Furious. When I was seeing the number of cars they were destroying, I was like, this thing must be probably the what do they call it? Modeling, 3D modeling or whatever they use to do these cars and all that. When I went to check, I noticed that these people actually destroyed 150 cars live. Those cars were real, right? In as much as they don't have some things inside, maybe the AC and all those whole things, because after they destroy it, they sell it to the what do they call it now?
Craft dealers.
Yeah, the scrap. So they were almost spending little or nothing. But all what I'm saying is there will be always something you don't have. Use what you have and try to improvise for those things you think you don't have in the best way as you can. So the things I couldn't do on set, I did them while I was editing because to get it, I just need the software and probably learn how to do it
You
in
know,
Photoshop.
like what you've said, people don't understand the origin of this green screen. Now, the origin of
Exactly.
green screen, origin of green screen is that people discovered that we can't really travel to some of these locations. It will cost us a lot of money. How can we
True.
stay where we are because of the money we don't have and still achieve the same result? Right now, I'll try to point out like the comedy industry, the entertainment industry. A lot of people don't. I think I'm exposing some of their secrets. A lot of people don't get to understand the reason why people do. They call themselves like they do three, four themselves in a particular video, is because
True.
they don't have money to pay other actors. So what they do, they mount their cameras and they shoot themselves. So
They
they can spend the
improvise.
whole week. They spend the whole week just shooting themselves, wearing different clothes. So it's not as if these guys want to become women or men or stuff like that. It's that they don't have money to pay other influencers.
And they are
They don't
tired
have
of waiting for their friend they have been begging to come. Some
exactly.
people
They
don't
don't have
want to
time to
shoot,
be
they are
begging.
waiting for somebody to come.
You beg. They don't have the strength for disappointment. So you ask somebody, I needed to shoot this, and they keep telling you, "Oh, I'll come," and because you have something to publish, you get to miss opportunities, right? So they say, "Okay, I'm going to shoot myself as this character, and also shoot myself as the other character." So, like Chika said, we must learn to play the
Always find a
alternative
way
game,
out. Yeah.
find a way out, like the water, like sand. What is the other way that I can use? Okay, so ladies and gentlemen, if we have questions, if you really learned a lot, I would like us to leave a comment. If you learned something, leave a comment, leave a comment, leave a comment, leave a comment. Do you have a question? 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 I told my guests I wouldn't be keeping them very long because they have content to go and create. They're very busy. They're very, very busy. So if you have questions, we'll take one or two questions from our audience. And if there are any other questions, we'll take it as well. Questions, questions, questions. If you're watching from YouTube or Facebook, just leave a question in the comment and I'll highlight it here so that everybody can see. Questions, questions, questions. Nobody's asking question. Nobody should come to my DM. Oh. How can I? How can I? How can I? This is where you can ask. This is where you can ask. This is where you can ask. I've been following you for the past 2 years, and you really inspired me. How can I start? This is where you can ask. This one is free. Ask your questions here. Favor and Jocko, I see you. Shadrach, Mark.
I think just to say something. No matter how we look at all these things, it just boils down to what Ini said in the beginning, which is happiness. You need to love what you do. If you don't love it, you can never sacrifice. There, behind the scene, there is a lot of sacrifice going on there, and the truth, it's just honest people that will tell you. You might see we post things, and you're happy to see these things, and you don't know the work, the weeks, the days, and the months of just planning a particular content that's just going to be for 1 minute or even less than that, out there. So it's and most of this content, if you look at it, they are just there was no even money attached to it. So it takes one to really love what you do to always put out something there, and up to the point where you get disappointing comments. When you're just starting, you're going to getting feedbacks that are going to break your heart. Honestly speaking, because
You
and
feel
most
like
of them are
quitting.
going to come from those your friends. Yes, those your friends, because those your friends, they have seen all what you can do. So by the time they see you doing a video, they will obviously laugh at you, right? And there's something Joseph used to say. Joseph says that social media is your office. I think people need to understand this. For content creators, that is your office, and you shouldn't take anything. So when you put out the content there, you see people coming to talk about things that are irrelevant. I'll block
Me,
you.
I'll delete it though. I'll delete it.
Either I delete it because that's your business. That's your you. If you had a physical office and somebody comes into your office and say that you won't take it. Honestly, let's be frank. So social media is actually your office, and you should treat it like that. So there is a lot of sacrifice going on behind the scene. There are a lot of um, how will I put it now? Temptation to give up, if I should use that word. But what will keep you going is that love for your art, that love for your work. So for me, happiness is the main thing. You're not pleasing anybody. If you Joseph says where there is what? Where there is sugar, ants will gather, right? And I don't human beings just do what gives you joy. Human beings will follow. The most followed guy, what's his name again now?
Kabi,
On
Kabi, Kabi,
Instagram. Kabi. Now,
Kabi.
What does he just does like this. Let's be honest and be truthful. When he started that thing and he started doing it, let's be
So
honest.
say
And
he's a
if I was
fool.
his friend, would you laugh? You will call him a fool. But what has kept him there is what consistency of doing like this.
I
Consistency
think
of
we have
doing
a
like
question.
he has been doing it. Okay, so
I think we
So
have
there's a
questions.
question here. But before I highlight the question, somebody's saying here that friends don't support friends. So I think we need to learn how to support friends. Like Chika, if Chika leaves any post, if I see it, I'll like it, I'll leave a comment, right? Why? Because it's my friend. If I go anywhere and I have to, I don't need Chika to be there. I must talk. If you don't know Chika, you don't know Chika, you can't make it in life now. So everywhere I go to, whether they ask me about a
Joseph, you're
photographer,
going
whatever.
far. Let's be frank. Let's be frank about
So
certain things. If I come, I want us to be realistic as possible.
yeah,
If I notice you responded to a particular post I made, right, and you commented or you liked it, when I see your post and I skip it, do you know the guilt that gets to me? It's a natural this thing. See, let's be truthful
It's
here.
like
I
returning
would make
someone's
sure.
call after
yeah.
doing
Yes,
it.
and but most I think where the issue is coming from is that you're looking for a favor and you have never done anything for this person. This person should just favor you. Who are you?
So, Chika, that means you have repented. You start returning people's calls.
Okay.
This is
For
this,
those that are if you're watching, I think check the last video I did about showing up. So I talked about the dragon formula. The first one, the first day was dialogue. You need to learn how to interact with people. When people talk to you, you need to talk back to them. Some of you have become your own gods. So that when anybody leaves comment in your box, your post, you don't respond. That's the reason why they will not come back. Okay, so go and check the last post on showing up. and all those things that will help. But let's just go straight to it. So this question is really fun, and I want us to be very sincere, right? Twinny and Chika, found something that pays you millions
The
of
question is easy
dollars.
for you.
Would you stop what you are currently doing?
Chika, you go first.
Chika, go first. Millions of dollars.
Okay, that question is a question that I have answered and I've asked myself 1,001 times, and I won't even lie about it. I've received offers outside what I do that pays me more, and when I mean more, I mean 10 times more than what I actually um, gain from my photography or videography work. So now to answer that question, I came to understand that what gives me joy and fulfillment, I want to use that word fulfillment. What gives me fulfillment is not money. What makes me so happy, this is to me, to some people, yes, we understand that money could do that, but to me, what gives me fulfillment is when I put up a photo out there and someone is in my DM and the person is saying, Chika, you don't know what you just did to me. This image you just put out there have changed the way I think. This image you just put up have healed me. There are images I put. In short, there are kids. There are about 5 kids that are on scholarship as I'm speaking to you because of a particular image I put up. So I put up this image, and this man said, "Chika, this image spoke to me. This was my childhood. This was what I went through." He's not based here in Nigeria, and he said, "I need to sponsor 5 kids because of that." The joy I had for the past months, I can't explain it honestly, and I believe that's what money won't even give to you. That kind of fulfillment that you could put a smile on people's face by what you do is what money. So no matter how much you have, no matter how much you're being paid for something, living what you love to do and going somewhere else, at the end, because this world, at the end, there will be that point where you question yourself, have you actually achieved what you? There are people that have quit. It interests you. Joseph knows what Afolabi now. They are bank managers and people that quit what. I have friends. I have friends that were working. They were paying them so well, and there's this particular lady. She quit what she was doing. Her pay was so high, she wanted to bake. That was all what she had always wanted to do. I believe the person that asked that question should go and do a job that he doesn't like to do. They'll pay you so well, and I believe one day you ask yourself, you question yourself, and you will leave that job. They pay you so well. So money is not everything. That's the truth. So I think to answer that question, I won't stop what I'm doing, and I would rather invest more in what I'm doing to earn that particular amount of money you're putting out there. So all what I'll do is to see how I could step up my game and see if money is so much of interest to me. So let me step up my game and see how I can make $1 million. I think that was what he said. So thank
Okay, so Chika said he's going to step up his game to attract $1 million. So, Mr. Ini, let's hear you, sir.
I have a different answer to Chika.
Of course, of course.
you. Yeah, the money. I could still remember when I came to your
No,
house and we saw the money written
my
on
answer
the
is not. See, I agree with Chika in all totality. You understand? Money, nothing. There's nothing that's money can satisfy entirety of everything. The money does answer things, you know.
a lot. Yeah.
Yeah. But I learned this from a businessman. I asked him, should I continue what I'm doing, and do I just chasing my passion and all? And this is without working, you know, supplementing. And he was like, he this was his advice when growing a business, and this is for people who are not established in the environment they find themselves. Say for instance, you travel out of the country, or you move from your base where you're established. When you leave an environment and in a new place, you need to grow. It's like starting afresh, building new clients and all that. money is not always important, but if you're going to grow a game, his advice was get as much as you can get in terms of inflow of cash into that business that has left its already established environment. You understand? And grow back your business, because you need money to go on social media, you need money to public advertise, you need money to buy back equipment, you need money to maybe rent, buy computers and all that. You have the talent. You are satisfied when people come back to say, just like what Chika said. In fact, you even are more fulfilling when you see, oh, I am touched by what you're doing. But I'm just as adding this part. If you leave your already established environment or you are starting out, save, do that $100 million. I'm not saying go and do something evil, like something corrupt. No. I'm saying that if you need to acquire one or two things that improve that your passion. So to answer the question, if now, as I am, someone brings $100 million,
Please, before you round up, he said stop. He said that his question was stop. Stop. You stop what
okay,
you're
to
doing.
stop. Oh, I'm sorry. If you say stop doing what I'm doing, no. But if it says stop and continue.
So his is stop it. And
if it's to stop, do not continue. No.
Yeah.
But I'm happy I'm able to give the idea. I hope someone learned something. If you say stop, I can't. Man, this is what gives me joy. What I create is what gives me joy. You understand? Just
can't
we can't hear you.
We can't hear you.
Sorry. So I think I need to come in here, and because I work with a lot of young people, so I have this to say, right? I think a lot of young people that are creative, they create stuff, they love entrepreneurship, they want to be in this content creation business, right? One of the things I've discovered, I've been observing, is that a lot of these creators don't expose their mind, and by that I mean they don't read books, right? So all what we do is more like learning skills, improving our skills, our technical skills, but then we don't feed our mind, right? So when we come to understand that there are different kind of opportunities that you can never ever imagine. When you start reading books, when you start trying to learn from other people, what this does for you is it depends your mind for opportunities. For instance, you're a videographer, you're a YouTuber, whatever you're doing, when you start reading, what this does for you is prepares you for opportunities like endorsement. So imagine that what like Chika is doing now, a time will come that MTN, CNN, and all these guys, they will see what he's doing and they will offer him ambassadorship, right? So because he has been preparing and has been feeding his mind, he can easily understand how to transition, not stop, how to adjust. That's the best word I can use now. How to adjust his photography, his cinematography, how to adjust what they're currently doing so that they can come into this particular market and still make money. Not necessarily having to stop what they're doing, right? So the big question to us tonight is, what are you learning? Where are you learning from? Right? So if you're a videographer, right, all you are is either you're just learning everything about cameras, everything about how to shoot and all those stuff. How are you learning how to manage relationships? It's like I talked about relationships. A lot of people don't understand relationships. And I'll give this as an example now. I'm sure the person is not watching. Now, this is someone that's looking for opportunity. All this place. This person was employed. This is something that happens every single time. Somebody volunteers for you, offer somebody a job to do for you, and all of a sudden, they delete themselves from the WhatsApp group. This particular person, I'm sure you'll be very offended because I know you very well. Imagine that somebody was managing your Instagram page, your YouTube, your Facebook, and other platforms. All of a sudden, whatever issue it was, they delete themselves from all these platforms. And sometimes by deleting themselves, it means that those pages are gone forever. this is somebody that needs an opportunity. So I got to hear the story from somebody, and I was like, who does that, right? So it's because that particular person has not learned and mastered communication. It doesn't matter the kind of issue you have with anybody. There is a way to hand over. You want to work with this person again, fine. Hand over the password, hand over the login. But for you to go to Facebook and delete the page and say you created it, go to YouTube, delete it, go to Instagram, it means that you have told yourself, I don't want any opportunity again in my life. But if this person was able to read a book or two, right, that would expose the person's mind to know that, okay, I don't have to burn this bridge because I may need it in the future. The gig the person may get, and they'll say, okay, your former employer, blah 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 blah. They want to get back to the person. You will lose that gig because when they call them, they'll say, finally, we've been looking for how to reach out to this person. This person deleted all our social media accounts, right? And we've been looking for the person ran away with our money and all those stuff. So we're going to lose money, right? So I think that everybody needs to understand that aside from what you're currently doing, there are other skills you need to learn. Like managing people relationships. Because I'm sure, Mr. Ini, when you're working with your client, there's some client that will really piss you off. And sometimes you want to tell yourself, I will never do this gig again, but then you remember the money that was paid or the money that will be paid. You say, no, I have to calm down. Right. So I think young people need to understand that apart from the technical skills you have, right, there are soft skills, there are books, there are things you need to learn to add to what you know. Right. And I think that would really help.
Can I add that?
Please go ahead, sir.
So you get some clients that can be annoying. You understand?
Very annoying.
I would advise to do the job. There's nothing wrong with saying no. Get this, guys. It's important to state this. There's nothing wrong with saying no, and that connects with what Chika did emphasize. Money is not everything. You understand? For the integrity of yourself, your passion, your sanity, there's nothing wrong with saying no. I've done work for some clients, and maybe because I don't like the working relationship, they come back again, and I say, I'm sorry, I'm not available. I've done work with clients, and it's been rough, but I've been able to manage through. So it's proper to gauge. There's nothing wrong with saying no, except you're in dire situation, which you shouldn't be. It's not advisable to position yourself in dire situations, because as humans, we like to capitalize on situations, on people's reaction to things. So I would say, be happy that you can turn down a job. Not everything you must take, except you have a goal you are trying to achieve. So sometimes say no. It kind of, not to your own detriment, but to satisfy the fact that you have grown as a person.
Yeah.
And if people around hear that, oh, Ini said no to so person, they probably ask questions why. They probably come to you and say why. I say, oh, because for me, it's because I've set my standards. You know, I don't want to compromise on quality. I don't want to compromise on this or on that. And people, even though people hate change, when they see the reason for change, sometimes when they listen to, so there's another thing, listen to hear the reason for change, they begin to appreciate why you change on certain aspects of your business or what you're doing, or your creative mind.
Yeah.
You understand? So I just wanted to chip in what you were contributing.
Thank you so much. So, ladies and gentlemen, at this point, this is where we call it, I think we've done a good job. I'm sure you guys had fun. You guys learned a lot. So follow Mr. Ini on Instagram at Udasin, and subscribe to his YouTube channel at Your Filmmaker. And if you are watching here, so you want to always know when we go live, so you have to subscribe. Check. There's a button below. Try and subscribe. Okay. Thank you so much. Then you can follow Chika. How can you not be following Chika? You can follow Chika on Instagram at Chika Onu. I think you really learn a lot. Follow Chika on Instagram. Follow Chika on Instagram. I think that is up. So thank you guys for connecting here tonight. Thank you guys for connecting here tonight. Thank you, Joseph, for joining in. I see Ihan Kalu. Thank you so much for joining in. Oyin Toluwase. Thank you so much for
Is that the
joining.
only I know?
No, this is not that. This I'm not sure this is the oil you know. I'm not sure this is the oil
Okay.
you know. But it looks like this is the oil you know, right? But thank you so much, Oil, for joining in. Thank you, El Favor, El Favor, El Favor. El Favor has to always
Oh
remind me.
yes, it's only long time no see.
Oh my God. Oyin, I was just keeping this a secret, but then okay. Oyin, thank you for joining. Thank you for joining in. Thank you, El Favor. Thank you so much for joining in. So I'm sure Oyin has learned a lot. Oyin has learned a lot, and she's really excited because it's probably like this session was designed for her. So thank you so much, everybody, for connecting. It's been awesome. I think I've highlighted Chika's page, right? So guys, follow Chika on follow Chika on Instagram at Chika Onu. If you're not following me, I don't know how you intend to survive. You can't have this session again if you're not following me. So follow me on Instagram at I am Joseph Etim, and subscribe to our page on Instagram as well at YPC Africa. Now, very soon we'll be announcing something for 2023 Connect Conference. So if you are following us on Instagram, you may likely see the update, right? So if you've been waiting to be part of what we do at YPC, so you want to follow us on Instagram. And thank you so much for everybody that is always engaging with the content we put out. We really appreciate you. Thank you so much. Somebody's Kalu is saying it was impactful session. Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Kalu,
Thank you,
for
Kalu.
thank you so much. Thank you so much. So guys, this okay, Chika is muted. Please go ahead.
Top of
Say
my
again.
voice. And okay, I think it's me and you that shot me his video now. Wedding.
Oh yes, we shot Oyi's many years ago.
Okay.
Great.
So guys, this video will be here live. I'll not take it down. It'll be on my YouTube, on our YouTube channel, and on Facebook. So you can always share the link with your friends for them to come and always watch it. Okay, so it's going to be here permanently. So you can always come back to watch. So thank you so much, guys, for watching. Thank you so much, Mr. Ini, for giving us the honor of your presence tonight. We don't take it for granted. We appreciate you. Thank you so much for the insightful session and sharing your experience. Thank you so much, Chika, for always turning up whenever we invite you. Thank you so much. It's been an awesome time. So, guys, I would like to just tell our protocol team to take them back to the hotel. So, at this point, I'll take them off the live session. Thank you so much.
There's a
So, we'll
gift
see
there.
you. Thank you so much. Chika, I'll see you in the other room. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Woo! Guys, I'm pretty sure this was this was more than I expected, right? This was more than I expected. This was really fun. And I'm sure a lot of us we learned a lot. So what you want to do, if you have a friend, what you want to do now is to offer them this gift. Send the link of this video, the YouTube or the Facebook. If you're not subscribed, if you're watching this on YouTube, we have a Facebook community, Young People Connect Africa. You want to join us there. That's where we always send updates of the sessions we always do. So there should be another one by Sunday. So you don't want to miss this. This was supposed to happen on Sunday, but we had to reschedule for today. So guys, invite your friends, share the links with them so that they can join. And I'm sure we really had fun. So at this point, I would like to thank everybody for joining in. We don't take you for granted. Thank you for always making time to connect with YPC and choosing to always spend your evenings to learn with us. So thank you so much. It's been a wonderful time. And at this point, my name is Joseph Etim. Thank you so much, El Favor. Thank you so much for all you do. So at this point, it's good night from here. Thank you so much, guys, for joining in. See you during our next Connect session. Have a good one. Bye for now.
I think it was a great initiative. I love the organization. I love the curation of speakers. The volunteers, everyone did so well. I think that Joseph Etim, the convener of the event, did a fantastic job of putting this together. I think that it's something that young people in Nigeria and Africa need. And that is leadership, real thought leadership, and showing people what they need to be looking at. Not everybody knows by default what they should be looking at or what they should be seeing or which way they should be curating their knowledge or the path they should be walking in. And so when you put together an event like this where people who have decades worth of experience are sharing for next to nothing to people, I think that it's something that we need. I think it's what really would help the youth of Nigeria beyond any government initiative. What the people in the private sector like Joseph are doing, it's amazing. So I'm glad to be a part of it. I feel privileged to have shared my 2 cents worth of knowledge with people who came here today.
Accomplishments, and there he was in his kingdom. It was an emperor actually, the emperor who had not killed self-titled.
Today I'm really excited about Connect Conference. I'm really excited because we've been able to conclude what we just got as a vision. Today marks the end of the 2 days events we initially had. We were able to host Industry Expo, we were able to host Blessing Abeng, Lamide Johnson, Julius Afolabi, Philip Agola, and we had Jonobidi attend live from Dubai. He came all the way.
As the conference began unfolding, it was like very deep sections, and it was like a transition from one phase to another phase to another phase. So today we had Jonobidi, and I sat quietly at the back. It was really thought-provoking. It had so much insight. It made me think to the point where I would separate things and know that, oh, there are some things that need to be arranged in a chronological order after this event. And I'm very grateful I was here. It has really